so many lies in that trailer right there. First of all, you've waited 3 years to see if they grow up? No. No, I haven't waited 3 years since they grew up. And quite honestly, I haven't been waiting to see what would happen to these guys since then. Yeah, welcome to Time About the Movies, everybody. We're not doing an intro this week. We're going to do something very different for this particular week of movies here for July 12, 2013, because that was the biggest new release this weekend, Grown Ups 2. Adam Sandler's first big sequel that he ever did. This is the first sequel that he did. Yeah, no Happy Gilmore 2, no Billy Madison 2, no Big Daddy 2, no. All these other movies that were much better. No, he waited until this movie, Grown Ups 2, to make his first sequel. And I just want to specify something here about, because like I said, I'm going to do something a little bit different for this, because before we talk about Grown Ups 2, we need to talk about the other big new release that came out this weekend, and that is Guillermo del Toro's Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim, rated PG-13 in Real D 3D and IMAX 3D, July 12.
Yeah, more people went to see this.
I do now.
Excuse me for a second. Open the window.
What the fuck?
Than to see this.
The monsters that are at our door. Today we are canceling the apocalypse.
This instead of that. In the words of Jack Nicholson from A Few Good Men, you fucking people. Yeah, what do I gotta say about this movie? Grown Ups 2. In it, Adam Sandler returns as Lenny, who moves his family back to his hometown where he reunites with his old friends, and together they face bizarre situations and new enemies in the form of a local fraternity. So it's basically doing Neighbors a year before Neighbors did, and except Neighbors did it so much better. And the situations here, there's no real situations here. All this is a bad sketch comedy movie, because there is no story in this whatsoever. It is just little sketches that try to make for comedy, but they're certainly not on the level of peak Saturday Night Live when all these guys were on there for the most part. I mean, this movie sucks. This is a terrible, terrible movie, and one of the worst things Adam Sandler has ever done. I mean, that's saying a lot. We just talked about another bad sequel he did this year with Happy Gilmore 2, which is a bad sequel. Don't get me wrong. That's a terrible sequel. This is much worse, because at least with Happy Gilmore 2, I could see the possibilities there. I could see what they were trying to do there. It didn't work, but I could at least give them credit for trying to do something with it. There's literally nothing to this. It's, once again, nothing but bad sketches stitched together into a supposed narrative, and a script overall that features nothing but pointless celebrity cameos. I mean, you see Shaquille O'Neal as a cop because, hey, not only is he's one of the great basketball players of all time, but hey, he's a registered cop in Miami or Florida. I think Orlando, maybe? He's a registered cop somewhere. I can't remember where, but it's somewhere in Florida. And again, like with Man of Steel, this is a tie-in with Kmart. I mean, that's how you know this movie itself is so dated and so out of time, when Kmart, in 2013, markets your movie. I mean, with Man of Steel, there's at least some hope there with Superman in general, but there's no excuse for this. And really, there's not much more I can add to this film, per se. It's a terrible movie. It just sucks. There's nothing about it that's worth it. It just isn't fun at all. There's nothing about this movie that works. Yeah, these guys have good chemistry together, but put that in a good movie. Put that in a good narrative overall, and don't just do this regurgitated garbage that nobody was asking for the first time around. I mean, this is about as pathetic as you can get with a movie like this. This is terrible, terrible garbage. Grown Ups 2. Terrible, terrible garbage. So let's go ahead and talk about Pacific Rim. AKA the movie that should have been cleaning up the box office instead of losing to fucking Grown Ups 2 of all things. This is set in the 2020s. Sure. I mean, we still got 5 more years to get these robots out here, but Earth is at war with the kaijus, colossal monsters which have emerged from an interdimensional portal on the floor of the Pacific Ocean. To combat the monsters, humanity unites to create the Jaegers, gigantic humanoid mechas, each controlled by 2 pilots whose minds are joined by a neural bridge. Focusing on the war's later days, the stories follow Raleigh Beckett, played by Charlie Hunnam, a washed-up Jaeger pilot coming out of retirement and teaming up with a rookie pilot, played by Rico Kikuchi from Babel, as part of a last-ditch effort to defeat the Kaijus. The rest of the cast includes Idris Elba, Charlie Day, Robert Kaczynski, Max Martini, and also Ron Perlman. This is definitely the better of the two movies, easily, but this one definitely has problems with it. A lot of problems in particular. But, yeah, for one thing, the characters are poorly written overall. They're just generic stereotypes of other action movie types we've seen done time and time again. It could work if there's good dialogue to work with here and good character development, but sadly, even that's not there in particular here. And the dialogue in here is pretty lazy, even for somebody like Guillermo del Toro, who wrote the script for this. And the other, I mean, it could be him, but it could also be the other writer, Travis Beacham, which I'm thinking is him, because what we've seen from Guillermo del Toro since then has been definitely a lot better than this. But you'll get a good one-liner from Charlie Day and Ron Perlman and even Idris Elba here and there, but the rest of the dialogue is pretty bland and forgettable. But what makes the movie incredible to look at are the visual effects. I mean, the Jaegers and the Kaijus really do look cool, and they're brought to life in a way that's so realistic than anything we've seen in any of the Transformers movies. Like, if there's any reason to watch Pacific Rim, it's for these action sequences with these creatures, and they are the highlight of the movie. And, you know, for a movie like this, on a big HD TV, this thing looks gloriously awesome to look at. And, you know, while the movie is over 2.5 hours long, it does move at a good enough pace where you're not really realizing that you're sitting in here for nearly 3 hours, including previews. But the story itself, although is good, I think it's very flawed for some parts. Like, if the monsters keep attacking the coast, then why do people still live on the coast? Why isn't this area just quarantined off in general? But, you know, I digress. Despite its many flaws from the dialogue and the character department, this is still a really good movie overall, thanks to its visual effects, a good story, and a good pace overall. I think there is enough there to recommend this movie overall. It's not one of Guillermo del Toro's best movies in general, but it's a damn good movie overall that's well worth watching. And I really do think, without him, this movie would have not worked at all. Case in point, what we saw with Pacific Rim Uprising, which that failed miserably as a whole. But at least with this, Guillermo del Toro's heart was in the right place for the most part. I think he should have had more of a hand in the script, with better character development, but as it is, it's a really good movie. I can't recommend this one enough. Seek this one out if you haven't already. Pacific Rim, terrific film. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on to our last movie that we have here, which is easily the best movie of the week and one of the best movies of the year, Fruitvale Station.
Rated R. Select theaters Friday.
Or let's just call it what it really is, the movie that welcomed Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler into the world of, you know, becoming the must-see duo when it comes to movies that they're involved in, because ever since this movie came out, they have been inseparable, and they have been basically pitch perfect gold every time, because this movie shows you right out of the gate how these two are so special overall in this. But you have a story based on the events that led up to the death of Oscar Grant, a young man killed in 2009 at Bay Area Rapid Transit by two police officers at the Fruitvale District BART station in Oakland, California. It's a movie about them. Michael B. Jordan stars as Grant. Kevin Durant and Chad Michael Murray are the two police officers involved in his death. You also have Melanie Diaz, Anna O'Reilly, and Octavia Spencer among the cast in here as well. Produced by Forrest Whitaker, and like I said, this is a movie that really shows you what, you know, Ryan Coogler's capable of as a director. This is a movie that is right up there with stuff like John Singleton's Boys in the Hood, the Hughes Brothers' Menace to Society, Spike Lee's first film, which I think was, She's Gotta Have It, I think it was. Like, this is a movie that really shows a true up-and-coming young talent as a filmmaker. And this time around, it's Ryan Coogler. But not only him, but Michael B. Jordan, showing what his advantage, his advance as a film, as an actor as a whole, has been. This is the second film after Chronicle came out, and this is a movie that really shows the true potential of what this guy can do as a star that we're going to see later on down the road. And I mean, he knocks it out of the park every single time. He has not made one bad movie since he broke out with Chronicle the year before, and then with this movie. Then again, I may have just lied to you about that, because I am seeing a couple of films that really are not that great. But even then, it's not really his fault. I mean, that awkward moment was pretty bad. Fan Four Stick, I mean, that one was pretty bad for its own merits. Kin was bad. Okay, maybe he has done a couple things that have been not that great, so just pretend I didn't say anything. But you get the idea. More times than not, this dude clearly is the reason why he's never the reason why a movie like that he's in is terrible. I mean, he's the guy that really does deliver on every single role he's in, even if it's not a great movie overall. But, you know, the Creed films, Black Panther, Just Mercy, you know, A Journal for Jordan, what was the last one he did? Sinners this past year. I mean, this guy and this director, Ryan Coogler, they work off each other so well. They know how to get the best out of one another. And this movie in particular really does show you what these two are capable of doing when they work together. This is a compelling film, and a film that clearly is never going to age, because this is something that still is happening even after all these years, and sadly it's never going away. The story of this innocent person who gets killed by these police officers, and they get him confused for somebody else that they're looking for, and it's just something that just unfortunately continues in real life, and it's sadly never going away no matter how hard we try. And it's just a great it's a great gut punch of a movie in general, where you see all the actors really giving it their all. Everybody in here is working their parts in here very well. It's an engaging movie that is not afraid to be intense when it needs to. I mean, it's a hard movie to watch. It really is a hard film to watch. It's on the level of something like a Schindler's List, where it's a great movie, but man, it's hard to watch this movie on multiple occasions because of just how heavy and how intense the situation the film is, and it just is such a chilling film to watch. I got nothing else to say about this movie, man. This is just such an incredible film made by two really talented people, and it just really shows that their work is going to continue to be just as strong as time goes on. Is not just with this, but with Black Panther and Creed and Sinners. Just a terrific, terrific film. One of the year's best movies, easily. Can't recommend this one enough. It's a shame that this thing didn't get the Oscar consideration that it should. It got shunned by the Oscars in general. They didn't give it any single nomination whatsoever. And it's a shame, man, because this movie should have been up for multiple Oscar nominations. It should have been up there with the movies that were nominated for Best Picture. I mean, there were so many movies. There's 10 nominations in the Best Picture category, and they didn't find any room for a film like this? Really? It baffles me to this day. But yeah, Fruitvale Station is a great movie. If you love Sinners, if you love Creed, if you love Black Panther, this is recommended viewing. If you want to see Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan from the very beginning of their work overall, I can't recommend this one enough. One of the best movies of the year, easily. Fruitvale Station, I can't recommend this puppy enough. And thus, with all that said, we wrap up another episode of Time About the Movies. Next time we meet, we've got 6 movies to look at for the week of July 19th. We have a horror breakout hit. Nobody was really expecting to be that good, but The Conjuring ended up being one of Warner Brothers' more successful horror franchises when you really think about it. But we'll take a look at that film. We'll also take a look at DreamWorks' second Ryan Reynolds animated movie of the year, Behind the Cruise. Needless to say, The Cruise was definitely a lot better than Turbo, which, I mean, it was panned when it came out. It was largely a box office failure for them, but is it really that bad? Yeah, it's bad, but hey, it's better than Red 2, going back to sequels that nobody was asking for. Red 2, we have the sequel to that. We have R.I.P.D., another Ryan Reynolds misfire from this weekend, with Jeff Bridges along for the ride. That one was just like, wait, like, why are we trying to copy Men in Black in 2013, honestly? But we then have Girl Most Likely, and then Nicholas Winding Refn and Ryan Gosling reuniting for the first time since Drive with Only God Forgives. So there'll be some good movies in there, but there will be a lot of bad ones too. 6 films to take a look at next time. We'll delve into all of them tomorrow on the show, so stay tuned for that. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and do me the honors of hitting the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button. Also, don't forget to check out our playlist, and don't forget to check out the previous episode we did. So with all that said, whether it's in the past, the present, or the future, I will see you at the movies. Take care.